Hi, I'm Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. You may have seen some of our other tutorials where we use these fat quarter bundles from Moda Fabrics that come with their own free pattern. All the patterns are very easy to follow, and they come in lots of fun colors. Today we're going to work with the orange color combination, and it makes a pattern called Peaks. This is a free pattern that's included in the bundle, and we also have it on our website. The bundle has 12 fat quarters, and the only other thing we need is a background print. So I'm going to use this nice rich brown. So get your bundle, get your background, and let's get started. Here's all the fat quarters here. We've got 12 fat quarters, and then we've got the free pattern. So the pattern comes free with the bundle. We also have it free on our website, and we'll put a link to the pattern in the description below. But this tells you exactly what colors are used, and it's going to tell us exactly how to cut everything. Before we cut, we want to iron these nice and flat. Anytime I'm taking something out of a package that's folded up, I'm going to take it right to the ironing board and steam press it, because then I can cut it nice and straight. Every fat quarter is going to get cut exactly the same. Now I'm going to cut 6 layers of fabric. You may want to only cut 4 or 2. Cut what you're comfortable with. So we're going to do a 1 3/4 inch strip first. So I'm going to do a 1 3/4. So we're going to have 2 of these strips cut at 1 3/4. And then the rest are going to be cut at 2 1/2 inches. So we're going to end up with 5 of these at 2 1/2 inches. Now we get to make some strip sets. We're going to take 1 piece of the 1 3/4, and we're going to take 3 pieces, so we can even take these top 3 of the 2 1/2s, and we're going to sew them in random order. Use a 1/4 inch seam and use a fairly small stitch length. I always like to use a small stitch length if I'm going to be subcutting the strip units after they're sewn, because I don't want my stitching to come undone. I'm going to finger press this to one side. I'm going to be finger pressing all of them in the same direction, so I'm going to go this way on all of them. So open it up and pull it apart with the palm of my hands, palm of my thumbs there, and just draw your fingernail or your fingertip right down that seam. Now grab another strip. Again, they don't have to be in any particular order. You should mix it up so they're in different orders. So for this set, I've got a 2 1/2, a 2 1/2, a 1 3/4, and then another 2 1/2. But on the next one, I'll put them in a different order and use different colors. Even though it's finger pressed, I still want to iron it nice and flat. So I like to take it to the ironing board here and spread it out flat with my hands, and then iron with no steam. And if you really want to make sure it's straight, take a straight line like a yardstick and make sure that it's lined up on that, and then give it a little steam. Now we're going to take the rest of our strips, and we're going to make a total of 20 strip units just like this. And you're going to want to mix the colors up, and I might give you a small hint here. If your background is really close to one of the strips that you're using, then put that strip in the middle of your set and not on one end or the other, because then your colors will all show up and none of them will blend right into the background. I have all of the strip sets all stitched up, and we're just going to set them aside for now and cut our background. The background pieces, we're going to cut them 7 3/4 inches. I'm going to need a total of 13 of these strips that are 7 3/4 inches wide. Now we're going to take 4 of these strips and set them aside, and we're going to take 3 of these and set them aside. So we're not going to be working with those at all now. The next step is to cut all of these in half. So you can simply put your scissors in and cut right along the fold. It doesn't have to be real accurate. I'm just going to split each one. Now we're going to take these to the machine and we're going to stitch them all together. Take one of the strip units and one of the backgrounds, and we are going to put them right sides together, and they should be the same size. And we are going to stitch along both long sides of this. Now you may find, like mine here, my Patrick is a little bit less wide than the background. That's okay, still stitch in 1/4 inch from the smallest piece. Now just turn it around and stitch down the other side, making sure you've got it spread out nice and flat. So do that same step with all of the backgrounds and all of your strip units. Those are all stitched together. Now we need to either use a 60-degree ruler, like this one here, or you can make a template. So the pattern calls for a certain brand of 60-degree ruler, but you can really use any one or make your own. When I don't have a ruler that's called for in a pattern, I will often make a template. So most cutting boards have some different angled lines on them, and here is a 60-degree triangle, and that is exactly what we need. We need a 60-degree triangle. So we are going to use this line and a folded file folder to make a template. So I am going to line this up on the line there, and you can see the 60-degree line coming beyond, and you have to note where it's hitting right there. You can see because the other line is there, and I'm going to put my ruler right along that line here to the point, and I'm going to cut. Most of your plastic rulers here also have 60-degree lines, so you could also use that to line things up, but this is just a little easier for me. So now I've got the right angle. So we've got 60 degrees everywhere, and it's just a little bit taller than we need. I'm going to want to cut this down to 7.5 inches. So I'm going to put my fold line on a line here, and I'm going to put the point right at 0. And then I'm just going to cut this off at 7.5 inches. Now we have a triangle. It's the same size on each outside edge, and it's 7.5 inches tall. I went ahead and made 3 templates, and this is what we're going to get from each strip set. We are going to put the bottom of the template right on the bottom of the fabric. Then you can swing it around, or if you made extras, you can see that one's going to go there, and this one's going to go here. You might have to get a fresh cut every time, but you might be able to cut it once and have that cut work for both triangles. Now to make the cuts, I'm not going to use the template to cut around. I'm going to put my plastic ruler right up next to that, and then I'm going to move that away and make my cut right here. Now I'm going to put the template back, and you've got choices here. You can put your ruler right up here if you're capable of cutting left-handed. I don't think I am, so I'm just going to swing this whole thing around, put the template back. Now if I put my plastic ruler here, I can do a right-handed cut, and that's much easier for me. Now we'll put this template down here, and it's okay if that dog ear is cut off there a little bit. So I don't have a whole point there, but that's okay because we would be cutting that off anyway. Hold it firmly, move your ruler in place, move that out of the way, and make a cut. Here is what we have, and we will be pressing the seam towards the dark. Now on some of them, you may have a couple stitches. So there's a few stitches there. You may have to take out a couple of stitches, but they'll usually just pull apart. So we're going to get 3 of these from every set. And go ahead and cut up all the rest of your strip sets so they all look like this. Now we're going to take the pieces that we set aside earlier, and we're going to cut them into triangles also. So let's start with the background pieces first. These are actually still folded, they're still big, and you can layer these up. So I'm going to open them all up and line them up so they're exactly on top of themselves and cut all 4 layers at once. I'm going to use the same procedure that I used with the strip sets. We have all the background triangles done. Now I'm going to cut the strip set triangles, but I'm only going to do 1 layer at a time. I really don't feel brave enough to layer these up and cut them in bulk. Now that everything's cut, we're going to take just a few of these. We are going to make some triangle pairs. So we're going to stitch these right sides together here. And we are going to make 8 of these triangle pairs. Now that I have all the pieces necessary to do the quilt, I'm going to start laying it out. So I'm going to follow the layout in the pattern here. And it looks kind of scary because these pieces are shaped a little different than what I'm used to working on, but don't worry, it's not going to be that hard. So I'm going to start with these triangles that are going to go on the end. So these are all going to be along one side of the quilt. I have these pieces laid out. So these triangles here, which are light in the pattern, are my dark ones, which are all laying out here. Now I'm going to start building this first row. We've got this piece here and this piece here, and this is actually going to be a whole row. Now the next row, similar. Once you start laying them out, it's not as bad as it looks. The next row is going to have more of these patchy pieces. It's going to have 3 of these units, and then it's going to finish up with 1 of these guys. You can already start seeing the pattern. The next row, it has 5 of these guys. I have all the rows laid out, and it still looks a little bit funky, but you have to trust that the pattern is correct. So I'm going to make each row. This row is done. I'm going to sew this into a row, and I'm going to put it right back here. I pinned the blocks in place so I can make sure I don't get anything turned the wrong way. We are simply going to sew this seam right here. Now, since they're not all exactly the same, they're not 90-degree angles, we are going to slide this up so that our 1/4 inch from here will exactly start at that intersection there. And what's nice is, since I haven't trimmed my dog ears off yet, these pieces actually match. So that's a real easy way to match them up. So I'm matching this with that shape right down there. Let's press this seam to the outside, and now we will stitch this piece on. So again, this is going to be stitched right here. I'm going to turn it around, and the piece matches right up there with that little dog ear. That's why I didn't cut these off, because I knew it would make this a lot easier to stitch up. Now, this one, again, press it towards the dark. And if you want to trim the dog ears, now is a good time to do it, because you've already got some scissors here, or some snippers, and you can trim that off and it'll look nice and neat. And then we can trim this one off. It makes your sewing area messy, but it makes the sewing go faster. So let's take this back over to the table and match it right back up. Okay, this one is going to go right here. That's going to get stitched on there, and we're going to make another row. So let's make the next row. I'm going to pin all this together first. I'm going to pin every row, and I'm going to just sew 1 row at a time, because This looks a little confusing. It's not, but it looks confusing. Let's see how we're doing. All right, now I'm starting to see. This side is all lined up in a straight line. This side of the quilt, it's going to be going in and out, but that's okay because we're going to trim it off with some scissors when we're done. And you can see that the intersections here are a 1/4 inch away from the edge. All of these intersections are a 1/4 inch away. That means when we sew our rows together, we will get a nice tip there and a nice tip there. Here's the finished Peaks quilt, and it just looks so lovely and fall-like. Of course, if you made it in different colors, if you made pink or blue, it wouldn't look like candy corn. It really looks like candy corn or pumpkin pie to me. I just love how it turned out. Now it's 62 by 75, so that's a nice throw size. I used an overall quilting pattern. I think it's called Chestnut Swirls, but it doesn't fight with the patchwork. It's kind of swirly and pointy, and that's what I like to do on something that is so geometric like this. I used one of the fat quarter bundles and 4 1/4 yards of this background. That included the border, and then the binding took about 5/8 of a yard, backing 4 yards. A very quick quilt to stitch up. We hope you enjoyed our tutorial today on how to make the Peaks quilt. Now, we're doing another giveaway. We're going to give away a table runner kit. These are kits that Matt cuts out here, and all the pieces are pre-cut. It includes patchwork, borders, and the backing. Here is what the runner looks like. Beautiful Christmas fabrics. These are holiday flourish, red, black, silver. Even the back is just beautiful. So we will have a link so that you can enter the giveaway, and we can ship this kit to you anywhere worldwide. Good luck.